Good afternoon and welcome to TVM News. Today is Friday, October 5th. I'm Tatiana Tell.
And I'm Stephanie O'Malley. This week we'll tell you how a Scranton teen is recognized as a hero.
We also have updates on the Kavanaugh Ford hearing.
And we'll check in with TVM sports anchor Justin Kaharski to find out the latest in Marywood sports.
Marywood shuttle system made its debut this week. I was there to see what students think of this new transportation option. I'm outside Logren Hall where Marywood's new shuttle bus is parked and waiting for students. Marywood's new shuttle bus started its route this past Wednesday. The 11-passenger shuttle offers rides to local stores, movie theaters, and more. The shuttle also offers late-night pickups on Fridays and Saturdays. Student residents are already planning to use the shuttle services.
I personally live 2.5 hours away from here, so I don't have my car. So it would give me a chance to get off campus and do stuff outside of school and maybe more in Scranton.
There's only a handful of people that bring their cars here, and honestly, it's you gotta make a fake friend to use them as a car, and it's a harsh truth, and a shuttle can actually help with that.
The shuttle's pickup location is in the rear parking lot of Logren Hall. Rides cost $2 in Pacer points. For more details on routes, visit Marywood's website. With TVM News, I'm Tatiana Tell.
Marywood-University received an $18,000 grant from the Moses Taylor Foundation last week. The grant will go towards providing preventative screenings and speech-language stimulation for children in Head Start centers throughout Lackawanna County. Marywood student clinicians will conduct these screenings with the children. The students will also assist in developing activities for Head Start teachers to help them identify speech, language, and hearing challenges in children.
Senior music education student Harlow Alexander spoke at the East Tennessee Music Education Roundtable last week in Maryville, Tennessee. Alexander was invited as a guest speaker to share her thoughts on networking, best instructional practices, and strategies to promote music education within the community. Alexander is the Pennsylvania president of National Association for Music Education Collegiate. She's also received the Shannon Kelly Kane Scholarship for Educational Leadership and the 2018 NAFME Collegiate Leadership Award.
Tonight's opening night for Marywood's production of Wonder of the World. I went to the rehearsal to check it out. At the Set La Vergetta Center, the Marywood players are getting ready to present their fall show, Wonder of the World. Wonder of the World is a comedy written by David Lindsay Abair about a woman who leaves her husband and goes on a grand adventure across the country. Sophomore theater major Alex Murray says that he loves being able to step into his character.
It's the one thing that I think I'm best at. I really enjoy how with acting you can just become a character and explore all their thought processes. You can explore these different and sometimes new emotions. You can let loose, let people see different sides of you that they never get to see because you don't show them, because sometimes that's not even who you are.
Junior theater major Melina Berry says that while the process has been difficult at times, it has still been worth it.
It's been slightly taxing, the rehearsal process, but it's always a fun time. I mean, with a comedy, you have a chance to really play with your character in a way that you might not with a drama.
Fifth-year theater major Sarah Wagner says that she has really connected with her character.
The role of Cass really speaks to me. I had a bucket list, and I got a bucket list 2 years ago, and a lot of the things on the list I made for Cass are things that were on my bucket list, and that really bonds me and the character so much, and we have so much in common, so it's really fun. It's a really unique opportunity to play someone who has similar life experiences.
Wonder of the World will take place on Friday and Saturday at 7:30 p.m. in the Set La Vergetta Center for Performing Arts and is free for all students with a Marywood ID. For TVM News, I'm Stephanie O'Malley.
Students had the chance to perform for their peers last week. Marywood Student Activities crew hosted the first coffee house and open mic night this semester in the Fireplace Lounge. Last Monday, students got the chance to share their talent with the Marywood community while enjoying free treats and drinks.
Campus organizations are using the month of October to celebrate Hispanic heritage. Marywood Student Activities and Leadership Development held an event this past week celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. The event was held in the upper main lobby of the Nazareth Hall Fireplace Lounge.
A Marywood sorority is using Breast Cancer Awareness Month to make an impact on the lives of others. Zeta Phi Delta is collecting donations for the NUPA Breast Friends Foundation. The group is looking for items like journals, pens, notes of encouragement, and blankets. The items collected will be donated to women undergoing chemotherapy treatment in the area. Items can be dropped off at a bin located in the Nazareth Student Center, room 107, throughout the month of October.
Marywood's newest club is looking for more members to get in on the fun. The MU Dungeons and Dragons Club is a group of students who gather every week to play the tabletop role-playing game and to meet other gamers. The group meets every Friday night from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. in the Fireplace Lounge in the Nazareth Student Center.
A new volunteer opportunity is open to Marywood community members with an interest in mentoring younger Scranton area students. The program Students Together Achieved Remarkable Success, or STARS, is seeking Marywood academics to work with local Latino students from the 7th to 12th grade. The goal is for college students to mentor and help younger children with work after school and share their experiences in higher education and in life. The program began this month and is held at St. John Newman Church in Scranton.
When we come back, we'll bring you local news, including information on a road rage incident allegedly involving a police officer. Stay tuned.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends.
Come on in! Help yourself to anything.
That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit savethefood.com.
Disaster tips from the objects left behind.
My home wasn't insured, but you can check your insurance policy now to make sure you're covered. Oh.
My savings are lost, but you can put money aside and plan for unexpected disaster costs.
We're lost forever, but you can scan important documents now so they survive.
For more tips on how to prepare, visit ready.gov.
A junior at Scranton High is celebrated for saving a woman's life at his family's restaurant. Dominic Argenta noticed that a woman in the diner was choking on her food and sprung into action using the Heimlich maneuver. Paramedics responded to the scene expecting a dire situation, but were glad to see a smiling woman at her granddaughter's birthday. The incident happened in July, but the responding paramedics and State Representative Marty Flynn stopped by the school last week to commend Argenta. Argenta said he doesn't feel like a hero, he simply did what he thought was right.
A teacher from West Scranton High School is suing the school superintendent. Social studies teacher Steve Bartnicki believes Superintendent Dr. Alexis Kirijan violated his First Amendment rights. Bartnicki has publicly criticized Kirijan's leadership for over a year. His vocal comments at public meetings, rallies, and in the news were thought to be offensive and bullying by Kirijan. Bartnicki feels Kirijan is retaliating against him by denying him honors teaching and soccer coach positions, both roles he hopes to gain after the lawsuit.
State police are investigating whether a road rage incident last week involved a Scranton police officer. Scranton Police Chief Carl Graziano said he had placed an officer on administrative duty pending the outcome of the investigation. Multiple sources identify the officer as Detective Sergeant Tim Harding, a city officer for almost 20 years. The incident is understood to have been between two vehicles on the McDade Expressway in Scranton. A female driver following a male driver ended with the male allegedly pointing a gun at the female. The woman took down the license plate and the plate number belonged to an officer.
Kildare's Irish Pub in Scranton is getting new neighbors, but it may be a while. BS Scranton purchased the 5-story building located next to the bar to make apartments for college students and young professionals. The Planning Commission approved the plans for the building, but developers have a list of issues that need to be addressed, including stormwater, draining, and parking matters. City Planner Don King says the project is moving along with agreements from the necessary outside entities to allow the firm to receive its building permits.
The monks of the Gaden Shartsi Fukan Monastery stopped by the marketplace at Steamtown for the PA Sacred Earth Healing Tour last week. The tour consisted of activities such as healing rituals, chanting, and a sand mandala ceremony performed by the monks. Event-goers had a chance to experience these activities, attend the metaphysical fair, and shop for Buddhist merchandise and food. The funds raised from the tour will go towards preserving Tibetan culture and maintaining monastery. The monastery's goal is to serve the world by nurturing peace, harmony, compassion, and tolerance.
Scranton's annual Latin Festival took over Courthouse Square last weekend. This year's anti-violence and anti-drug theme is meant to bring awareness to lives lost to addiction. The event organizers say the theme was meant to promote love, inclusivity, and acceptance within the community, all of which are promoted in the Latin culture. Though the theme was important, attendees had a good time enjoying the music, dancing, and food.
The show that made Scranton famous is selling props for the world to bid on, and the bidding ends today. The site ScreenBid is auctioning off more than 500 props from the hit TV show The Office. Normal-looking office props from the Scranton branch of Dunder Mifflin Paper Company, including Pam's reception desk, Jim's desk lamp, and Dwight's various desk supplies, are all available. All items come with a certificate of authenticity.
Motown greats are making their way to Wilkes-Barre this February. The Temptations and the Four Tops are co-headlining a tour that features a stop at the FM Kirby Center for Performing Arts on Saturday, February 22nd. Tickets for the show are on sale now at the Sundance Vacations box office and on the Kirby Center's website.
3 months and $40,000 had turned the Vault Tap and Kitchen into Stage West. The rebrand and remodel of the North Main Avenue pub came after owner Steve Masterson hosted an event featuring local band The Menzingers. Masterson decided to turn the bar into a local music haven to fill the void of other music venues that have closed down. Nanticoke pop-punk band Send Request will be featured tonight at the first show. Masterson hopes to offer a variety of events in the future, including wine and paint nights and comedy shows.
The dearly departed Players will be at the Dunmore Cemetery this Sunday performing a walking tour. The tour explores the lives of some of the interesting people buried there. The recurring themes of the tour this year are things to be mindful of today and everything that has happened before. Audience members are asked to be at the cemetery before 2 p.m. to see the exhibits. There is no entrance fee, but everyone is asked to bring a non-perishable food item to benefit Feed a Friend.
Last week, a West Scranton man was finally laid to rest 74 years after his death. Army Private First Class Willard Bud Jenkins laid in a cemetery 3,500 miles away as an unknown soldier. As a paratrooper in World War II, Jenkins was struck twice while crossing a river during the Operation Market Garden. Jenkins' body was identified through DNA supplied by the last living member of his immediate family, his sister Edna. At the service, Edna was presented with a battalion blanket and oar, which is a symbol of an exceptional performance. After the break, we'll bring you national news about a lawsuit against Elon Musk. But first, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, no, this warrior. will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
National media reports indicate that embattled Supreme Court Justice nominee Brett Kavanaugh seems headed for confirmation following the release of an extended FBI background investigation on Wednesday. Kavanaugh's appointment by President Trump continues to draw protests in the nation's capital and other places as a result of allegations of sexual impropriety with 3 women. Republican senators have said the new FBI report fails to corroborate any of the allegations, while Democrats have criticized what they see as shortcomings in the report's scope. A final vote on Kavanaugh's nomination could come tomorrow.
The benchmark Obamacare prices are about to drop for the first time since 2014. The premium for the benchmark silver policy on the Federal Exchange is expected to go down by 2% in 2019. Over the past 2 years, 44% of insurers dropped the program, but it is expected this number will improve. Administrators of Obamacare, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services are expected to release a detailed look at the upcoming year's insurer participation later in October.
Nashville officer Andrew Delkey faces homicide charges in connection with the July shooting of Daniel Hembrick. Officer Delkey was caught on video shooting Hambrick in the back as Hambrick ran away. Delkey's attorney said Hambrick had been holding a gun when he fled, and Delkey followed the law in the shooting. Delkey turned himself in last week and has been released on $25,000 bail.
After almost a week-long search, authorities found what they believed is the body of the 6-year-old Maddock Rich. The autistic boy went missing in North Carolina while walking with his father and a friend. The body was found by a team of searchers in a creek 1 mile east of Rankin Lake Park, where Rich went missing. Police Chief Robert Helton said authorities have done all they could to find the missing child.
Our support this week has been phenomenal. I've lost a lot of sleep this week worrying about Maddox, but I've not lost any with what we were doing on our side. We were doing everything that we could, and I've never seen a larger response in my 32 years in this business.
Identification of the remains are currently underway in the medical examiner's office, but authorities have indicated they believe they are of Rich.
A Chicago mother is accused of trying to drown her 3-year-old child. Days before the incident, Celeste Christian posted on social media that he was dead. Police say Christian put her son in the bath after noticing he wet himself and left him there while she checked on another child. She told investigators that the boy was unresponsive when she returned. The toddler was hospitalized in critical condition. Christian was arrested and charged with aggravated battery of a child under 13 and attempted first-degree murder.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk agreed to step down as Tesla chairman after being sued by the Securities and Exchange Commission last week. The SEC filed a lawsuit for false and misleading statements by Musk, citing tweets sent back in August. In these tweets, Musk said he had secured funding to take Tesla private. This caused confusion amongst investors of the company. On Monday, Musk struck an agreement with the SEC to ultimately step aside as Tesla chairman and pay a $20 million fine. Securities and Exchange Commission Representative Stephanie Avakin said Musk did not disclose necessary information.
Musk had not secured funding for the proposed transaction. To the contrary, we allege that he had not even discussed key deal terms, including price, with any potential source of funding. The SEC's complaint, which was filed earlier today in federal district court in the Southern District of New York, seeks a finding that Musk committed securities fraud, an injunction prohibiting him from doing so in the future, civil penalties, disgorgement of any ill-gotten gains, and a bar prohibiting Musk from serving as an officer or director of a public company in the future.
Indonesia's disaster management is being accused of mishandling the tsunami and earthquake warnings that resulted in a tragedy. After central Sulawesi was hit by a major 7.5 earthquake last Friday, the agency lifted the initial tsunami warning. Indonesian authorities have confirmed at least 1,200 people have died as of now, but the number is expected to rise much more due to lack of medicine and equipment needed to reach the survivors. Many critics believe the tsunami lift came too early. The first alert came Thursday at 6 p.m. and was lifted just 36 minutes later. Rescue efforts continued throughout the week.
A new study has found that half of the orca population is predicted to die from pollution of the chemical PCB. The poisonous chemical has been banned for decades, but its side effects have lasted due to contamination in the food chain. As a result, the industrialized nations with offshore killer whales could lose their populations completely in 50 years. Paul Jepson at the Zoological Society of London believes there is still hope for the orcas in the Arctic, where orca populations have been doing well. Jepson hopes for a global cleanup that would ultimately allow the whales to repopulate around the world.
Dunkin' Donuts is on a first-name basis with its customers. Dunkin' Donuts announced plans to rebrand the company next year. The company will officially change its name to Dunkin' starting January 2019. The company has received some backlash over the rebranding, which will also include new store designs, menu options, and speedy ordering. The company plans to grow and modernize with its customers while remaining the quick service restaurant America runs on.
Up next, we'll check in with TVM sports anchor Justin Kaharski to find out the latest happenings in Marywood sports.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to TVM News. Let's check in with TVM sports anchor Justin Kaharski for Marywood Sports. So Justin, what's going on with sports this week?
Well, Tatiana, women's tennis just finished up a disappointing season.
Oh no, why don't you tell us some more about it?
Women's tennis finished its fall season at 1-4 after being shut out 9-0 against Moravian College. The Greyhounds dominated the Pacers, winning 3 sets of doubles and 4 sets of singles. The team resumes play next spring against the SUNY Delhi Broncos on April 27th. Women's golf split a tri-match this week, beating Arcadia University and losing to the University of Scranton at Glenmara National. Both Leslie Major and Mariah Casey set individual low round marks to lead the Pacers. Carey carded a 79 for a new record, and Major followed with a 75 to take the medalist honors. Their performances led Marywood to a team record low score of 352. Scranton won the tri-match with 3 golfers as top 6 finishers for a team score of 342. The team will travel to Delaware next week to host the Atlantic East Conference Fall Preview match at Bear Trap Dunes in Ocean View. In women's soccer, the Pacers open up their Atlantic East Conference schedule with a 1-0 win over Marywood-University. Julie Youngman's goal, with just 26 seconds to go before half, was the only score of the game. Cassandra Reamer assisted on the goal. The win was the Pacers' third in a row and raised their overall season mark to 4-6. Youngman's score tied her for second in program history in goals with 41 and points in 113. Her 15th game-winning goal puts her at second place in Marywood history. The Pacers nearly doubled the Griffins in shots at 11-6, with a 6-3 advantage in shots on goal. Marywood's next game is at home tomorrow against Immaculata at 1 p.m. Men's soccer also opened its Atlantic East Conference schedule this week, fighting to a 1-1 draw against Marywood-University. Dominic DeGeorge recorded his first career goal for the Pacers' only score in the 50th minute. The Griffins tied the game in the 85th minute, sending the contest into overtime. Brian Dean kept the ball out of the net for a team save with just 8 seconds left in the first overtime period. The Pacers had 3 shots on goal in the final overtime, but the Griffins goalkeeper kept them out of the net. The team had twice as many shots as the Griffins at 22-11, with 12 shots on goal, to the Griffins' 5. They play Immaculata tomorrow. 3 Marywood student athletes picked up Player of the Week honors from the Atlantic East Conference this week. Field hockey's Angela Sanchez took home Offensive Player of the Week, while Carrie Mounts grabbed the same award on the defensive side. Julie Youngman received the Offensive Player of the Week in women's soccer. The Pacers' sweep of the Field Hockey Awards follows a 2-0 week for the team. Sanchez earned the offensive award by recording an assist on Marywood's first goal in a game against Delaware Valley that the Pacers eventually won 3-1. Sanchez went on to score 2 second-half goals against King's College to highlight another 3-1 win. That win broke a 16-game losing streak for the Pacers against the Monarchs. Strong defense by Mounts keyed the victories against Delaware Valley and Kings, with 10 saves over the 2 contests. Those saves held the opposition to a single goal in both games. 4 of her 6 saves came against Kings in the second half. That helped Marywood maintain its lead over Kings throughout the game. Youngman scored the soccer award with 4 goals over 2 games, scoring 2 in each against Keystone and Clark Summit. In the Keystone game, Youngman had both the first and final goals while picking up her 100th career point. She scored both of her goals against Clark Summit in the first 2 minutes of play. She finished that game with 111 points scored for her career, putting her in 3rd place in team history. Marywood's athletics department will team up with the admissions office for a student-athlete preview day tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The event gives prospective student-athletes a chance to experience campus and meet with coaches. Admissions and financial aid staff will also talk about academic programs and tuition assistance. Registration will begin at 9:15 a.m. in the lobby of the Center for Athletics and Wellness. The preview day also features 2 home athletic events, women's rugby at 11 a.m. followed by women's soccer at 1 p.m. The women's soccer team will host a 1-day ID clinic for high school players in the afternoon. Marywood-University sponsors 22 varsity programs and competes in Division III. The NFL season is at its first quarter mark, and there are only 2 unbeaten teams remaining: the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West and the Los Angeles Rams in the NFC West. The division leaders still show a few surprises, with the Chicago Bears atop the NFC North at 3-1, and the Miami Dolphins lead the AFC East with the same record. The New Orleans Saints, Tennessee Titans, Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, and Jacksonville Jaguars share that 3-1 mark. Last year's 2 Super Bowl teams, the New England Patriots and Philadelphia Eagles, are 3-2 and 2-2 respectively. That's all for sports this week. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Justin. A Seattle novelty company is putting a new twist on a holiday classic. Customers will be able to buy macaroni and cheese flavored candy canes from Archie McPhee this holiday season. According to the company's website, a box of 6 candy canes can be yours for $4.95. If macaroni and cheese isn't for you, the company will also be selling clam, bacon, and rotisserie chicken flavored candy canes.
Well, I don't know about you, but I definitely don't want to eat a clam-flavored candy cane.
No, I think I'm going to stick with the regular ones this season. So that's going to do it for this week's edition of TVM News. From all of us at TV Marywood, thanks for tuning in.
Be sure to follow TV Marywood's YouTube page and like the TVM Facebook page to stay up to date on the latest happenings and to watch additional content. I'm Stephanie O'Malley.
And I'm Tatiana Tell. See you next week.